to my channel. So today's video is going to be a different video. I was kind of like scared to film this type of video because I didn't want it to be like too negative or anything, but I just want to put a disclaimer on this video. Some of the products in here did not work for me, and that is why I wanted to kind of just show you guys my opinions and what I think about them, and actually show you why they didn't work for me on my face. Some products that I did use that didn't work out for me, but that doesn't mean I do not like the brand. There is some products in here that actually are some of my favorite brands, but the product that they produce just actually didn't work for me. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I have a full face on all the products that didn't work out and that I hate. So if you guys want to see everything, then please. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I actually don't know how this makeup tutorial is going to go, especially since all of these products here are products that I don't like. I never cared to use them. They've just been sitting in my collection for a while. But today I'm going to be showing you why I don't like them and how they work, and what they kind of do in order for me not to like them. Firstly, I'm going to start off with brows, and I'm going to be taking this NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. Now, as I open this, you can kind of see that I've used it a lot. And to be honest, this was back in the day when I first started doing eyebrows. I used to be obsessed with this thing. And believe it or not, I used to use these tiny little mini brushes that were in here, which is kind of funny because I'm like, how the hell did I used to fill in my brows with these? Like, how did I used to fill in my brows? So before we even start off, I did want to mention this moisturizer. This is the Original Skin by Origins. This is the matte moisturizer with whale herb, and it looks like this. The packaging is really cute because it's a light baby pink color, which you guys know I love, but the formula of this is just like so like almost like sticky, and it's supposed to be like oil free, and I feel like it takes literally forever to like sink into your skin. And then guys, the smell of this, I wish you guys can actually smell this. Like, oh my god, it's just like so overpowering. It just smells like literally like you opened orange juice and threw it on your face. That's how it smells. How much I've tried to use it, it just makes me cringe every time because the smell just bothers me. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this moisturizer today because this is a moisturizer that I'm definitely going to be tossing out because I don't like it. Or maybe I will give it to my sister because my sister likes a lot of the moisturizers from Origins, but I don't know if she would like this one just because like I feel like this one, it takes a really long time to like sink into the skin, and like it stays on top, but at first it feels really nice, but the smell, I can't get over the smell. It almost like burns my face. That's how strong it is. You can tell that it's kind of like drying down, but at the same time like it starts to get a little tacky and sticky, which I guess that can be a good thing, like if you're going to be putting your makeup just so it sticks there, but then it also makes blending out your foundation a little difficult. I'm going to go back to the brows. I already talked to you guys about this brow and why I don't like it. So I'm going to be taking this tiny little brush. Like I said, I don't know how the hell I used to use this brush back in the day. I must have really just not cared about, you know, actually the art of makeup and making it look good. I just literally used to slap it on, I guess. So I'm going to be taking the dark color, and I'm going to try to fill in my brows with this. First of all, like I don't even know how I used to use this color. Look how light it is. It's definitely just, it just looks like really dry on the eyebrows. Like it looks really powdery. Like I know sometimes whenever you use powders, like yes, it's going to look powdery, but like Anastasia doesn't look like that. I always used to use hers like right after I started using this, and I ended up loving hers, and then that's when I went on to the dip brow. But like even her brow powder, like it goes onto the brows like so nicely, and it doesn't look powdery like this. You could just like tell that there's powder or product in your brows with this, like literally. To me, I can definitely see that there is some kind of product in there, and I feel like Anastasia just looks a lot more natural. It actually looks kind of good from the viewfinder, but up close it's like really ugly, and I will give you guys like a close-up once we're done with this video. That way you guys can truly see all the makeup products that I know I used to be obsessed with, because obviously it's almost gone. And I know I used to take this little spoolie, like I still can't get over how small this is. I said get this spoolie and like stick it in the gel and kind of like comb out the brows just to make it stay. And first of all, it just feels like so sticky and cakey, and it never dries. That's the thing, it never dries. So it just lays on top of your brows feeling sticky all day. So like say like if you were to go out and you had your hair down and the wind was blowing, it would literally stick to your brows. Like, why would you want that? Next, we're gonna move on to eyeshadows. I have one eyeshadow palette to show you, and then I also have like this like duo from the drugstore, which is this right here. And I decided I would incorporate this because I know that there was so much hype over these whenever these first came out, and they still sell them at the drugstore, and they actually created more colors of these. I'm going to show you guys this today. And then I also have this Too Faced Sugar Pop Sugary Sweet eyeshadow collection. Now, whenever this first came out, I used to be obsessed with it, just because, not mainly for the colors inside of it, like I honestly only used it like one time, and I remember I didn't really like it that much just because the colors were just like, you know, too, like, there's too many bright colors. It's really hard to have like a transition shade and stuff like that with this palette. But also, like, the colors in here just very, like, every color in here is shimmery, and there literally is no matte color besides this one right here. This one is the only matte one. All of the rest are shimmery, which is kind of like I don't know how you would create a look with no matte. I'm going to be taking this concealer, and I'm not going to really be using this as eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to kind of like just show you guys the shadow, but I didn't really have an eyeshadow primer that I don't like since I've been using the same one. But this concealer, I do not like it, and I will show you guys and tell you guys a little bit more about it once we get to the actual concealer. But I'm just going to use this to prime the eyes for right now. I'm going to be taking this white color. This is called Rocky Candy, and it's right here. And again, it is shimmery, so it's kind of like you have to put that all over your lid if you want a base color. And it's shimmery, so it's like it kind of makes all the other colors even more shimmery, which kind of sucks. Like, I wish it was just like a matte color for the base, that way you can put it all over your lid, but unfortunately there is not in this palette, so you would have to probably break out another palette just to get your base color, or just use your powder that you have on hand. Use this like brownish color as a transition shade, since it is the only matte color in here. It definitely is pulling up more purple, which it does have a purple undertone, but we're gonna just very lightly just take that. Maybe I can try to, like, you know, make it soft so that it looks like a transition shade. I'm gonna take it like very, very lightly. And I'm taking it on a Wet n Wild brush. So I just want to mention all the brushes that I'm including in this. They are brushes that I actually love, so it's not part of the video, but I didn't really have any brushes that I hated that I wanted to, you know, show you guys. So I'm just going to be using all my favorite brushes just for the video for application. But just keep in mind, these are brushes that I do love. These aren't brushes that I dislike. I like a transition shade a little bit, you can kind of see, but it does look very patchy. And that is because, like, the actual base color is shimmery, so once you lay down the matte color, it almost just looks like shimmery too. So it just looks overall very patchy, but I'm going to try to blend it out to make it look as seamless as possible. That I'm going to be taking the Melted Milk Ball shade, which is this brown shimmery shade. Again, it is very, this one's actually very shimmery and glittery, but there is no other color for me to use, so I'm going to just go ahead and take that, and I'm going to put that even more into the crease to help, like, deepen up the crease color. These are products that I literally hide away in my collection and just try to like them, but I know I don't, but I don't want to throw them away. But it is a good time to just take a deep breath and throw it away. So that brown color is down, and now we're going to move on to this Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art. Now, when I first saw that these came out, I was like literally so obsessed with them because I thought that they were so pretty. I own about like 4 of these, and they are different colors, but I just wanted to show you guys one of them today. This was the only neutral one I had. The other one was like a bright green and an emerald green, and I have a purple one, but I just wanted to show you guys one today. Now how bad it creases, and I've even tried to use this with an actual full-on eye primer. I've tried using it by itself. I've tried using it with a good concealer. I've tried multiple different ways to use this, but it literally still ends up creasing. But the colors are really beautiful, and I'm so sad that they didn't really work out for me. So now I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to take the more sparkly side, which is this side, and I'm going to add that right on top just to give a little bit more of the glitter. I think they come out really, really clumpy, so what I always have to do is I have to go back in with like a brush and kind of like just spread it out. And then the glitter takes forever to dry. Like literally if I look up right now, my eyes will get stuck together. These are the Ardell Glamour multi-pack, and these are Demi 101s. Guys, look at these. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me kind of like zoom in so you guys can see. But can you see those? Like, they just look very, very like thick and clumpy and just like, I don't know what I was thinking when I bought these. Whenever you apply these, the first thing that I hate is it literally doesn't stay into the shape of your eyes. Like, it's kind of weird to explain if you don't really wear lashes that much, but me, whenever I buy lashes usually just like hug the lash line, and these do not. Like, they literally keep coming up because of the shape of them, because they're so like just thick. So for one, they're really hard to apply, and I am actually pretty good at applying lashes. My real lashes, you guys, are literally longer than these. Like, these are very like thick and short, wearing much. And then they look just very plasticky too on top of that. Like, they don't look like very fluffy like mink lashes are. And I know these aren't mink lashes, but even like Ardell's subtle lashes, like their Ardell wispies, those look really pretty and fluffy. But these are just like, you can tell they're definitely fake. Foundation that I do not like, and I think I talked about this in one of my other videos when I first got this from my gratis. I tried it out for you guys and I absolutely hated it, and you guys are gonna see it once again. That way I can show you guys again with like natural daylight how this foundation does not do a damn thing for me. This foundation is actually called the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation SPF 15. When I think a skin like foundation, I normally like to think about what it's gonna actually look like on the skin. Is it really gonna look like skin, or is it gonna have like a little bit of coverage, or is it gonna be full coverage? But with this foundation, it's actually supposed to have like a light skin like finish. Take my beauty sponge, and this is the EcoTools beauty sponge. Now this sponge is okay. I'm not really like a huge fan of it, but I'm just trying to get my use out of it. For one, it tears really quickly, which is something that I do not like, because then you have to purchase so many of these, and by the time you know it, you might as well just have bought a beauty blender, because a beauty blender is $20 and these are like $6. So if you buy a couple of them, it's already $20. So I mean, you might as well just get the beauty blender one, in my opinion. The only thing I really do enjoy about it is the shape of it, but other than that, like, it's kind of like stiffer than the beauty blender, and then also like it tears really easily. Like, this is only my second time using it and it's already like tearing everywhere. Foundation in action. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the only thing that's happening is it's making my face look really light, and it is too light of a shade, but it still doesn't give me like any coverage, like at all. Like, you can definitely still see my freckles. The only thing it really covered was the redness around my breakouts, but other than that, like, it really doesn't cover anything. Like, all this redness up here is still showing through. And it also just looks very dry on the skin too. That's another thing that I kind of noticed about it. Like, thick in a way, which is kind of strange, because whenever you like shake the bottle, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It sounds very liquidy, but whenever you put it on and you like blend it out, it's thick, which is strange, because you would think if it was thick, it would have a lot of coverage, but it doesn't. So I'm over that foundation, definitely going in the garbage, because I have no one to give that to. So for concealer, I'm going to be showing you guys the concealer that I actually use on my eyes. Now, this is another product that I got from gratis that I thought I was going to love, because I do love the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and I used to love that back in the day. It used to be one of my favorites. I decided to try out this one. This is the Select Moisture Concealer by MAC Cosmetics, and the reason why I got this is because my under eye area has become so dry over the last, I would say, like year or so. So I can't really use like Tarte Shape Tape anymore, because it's just too drying on my eyes. And there's also other concealers that I really used to love, but I cannot use them because they're not hydrating enough underneath there, so it just looks very dry. So I bought this, and I wanted to try it out, and I absolutely hate it. And the reason why is because this is one of the lightest shades. This is the NC20, and it literally looks darker than my whole body. You guys, like, I don't know if you guys can see that. It just looks very warm on the eyes. And also this doesn't really cover that well either. I'll show you guys this little beauty blender that I purchased with a pack of beauty blenders, and then these came with it. So whenever these first came out, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. That would be so good for concealer. Like, it just looks amazing, you know. And then I tried it out and I absolutely hate it, and I will tell you why. Firstly, I know half the beauty community has nails, so if you have nails, like, this is literally so hard to do. And then on top of that, like, it's hard to kind of like just angle the sponge because it's like so small that it's slipping out of your hands. I think that this is kind of like a waste because you can just take your beauty sponge, like your bigger one, whether it be a beauty blender or a Equal Tools or whatever sponge, and literally it's just, I don't know, in my opinion, it's just more easier to apply. Like, I feel like this just makes it a lot more difficult, and I feel like it doesn't really do the job. The only thing that I feel like is useful for these kind of little ones is to get like right here, but after that, I mean, it's kind of pointless. It takes more time, it's harder to use, and it's too small. So in my opinion, waste of money. Now that concealer is done, I want to talk about this powder. Now, I think I mentioned this about 1 or 2 times on my channel, like back when I first started. And I bought this because of Jaclyn Hill. I remember she used to use this in all her videos. I used to be obsessed with how this looked underneath her eyes. And I don't know what she does for it to make it look nice, because I am starting to develop dry skin, like I told you guys. And I know she also has some dry skin, and this just looks horrible underneath my eyes. So this is the MAC Emphasize powder. So you can kind of use this for a highlight on your cheeks, or you can use it to set your eyes. But I hate it either way. I literally don't see the point in this powder because it just looks so horrible underneath my eyes. So I'm going to show you guys. Since the concealer was a lot darker, I figured I would show you guys this to make it kind of see if it's going to brighten underneath there for you. But even back in the day when I did have oily skin, I still didn't like it. Like, it just made my pores look very big, and it pretty much did nothing. Like, I'd rather just take Airspun and put it underneath the eyes and it looks flawless. So for the rest of the face, I'm actually going to be taking this e.l.f. high definition powder. Now, back in the day, this used to be compared so much to the Makeup Forever HD powder, so that's why I got this, because I used to be obsessed with that powder, but I would go through it so quickly because I was obsessed with it that I figured I would get a dupe and use that on the days that, you know, I was just going to not really be using it for special occasions. I was going to be... This is one of the reasons why I freaking hate this powder. I just fucking made a mess everywhere. No! It's shitting me right now. Well, there's a powder for you. This powder, I tried it out. I hated it. It just looks very ugly on the face. It makes me look like I have more pores. And the other reason is because this packaging is literally so shitty. Like, I understand that this is like supposed to be more affordable, but at least like glue this shit down so it doesn't open. Like this little, let me see if I can kind of show you without making another mess. But this clear thing, this shifter thing, should be glued down or something so that it's not gonna pop up, because every single time you open it, it just comes out everywhere. And it is a transparent powder, which I thought I was gonna love it, and it is really like soft feeling. Like whenever you touch it, it feels like the Makeup Forever one, and I thought it was gonna look flawless on the skin and just look like really nice, but personally hate it. So I'm going to apply that all over the face. But I put this powder, you can definitely see like how like glistening that powder was. The Emphasize powder from MAC, you could just tell like how shimmery it looks, and it just looks so awful. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try this. I've used this about 2 times honestly, and I didn't really understand why they made this, because I feel like it literally does nothing. So this is the Too Faced Selfie powders. Now it looks like this. I don't know if they still sell this. I believe they still do. Have they reformulated it? I have no idea, but whenever I first bought this, I was so excited about it because, you know, Instagram was really popping. Everybody was, you know, making an Instagram account. Everybody was all about the filters, and I was just really excited about it. And also, Too Faced is one of my favorite brands, so I do not want to knock the brand, but this product was one of their flops, I would say, because I was really excited about it, and then it ended up being like a total waste of money in my opinion. So this has like a brightening shade, a color correcting shade, and it also has like a bronzer shade. So I'm going to try to use the bronzer. Bronzer is okay, but I feel like, I don't know, it could have been made a lot better. Like, it's just very warm looking, and I feel like if you're going to make a product like this, I feel like it should be universal to all skin types, if that makes sense. And then the highlighter is this like banana shade. I said that this was really pretty to put on your cheekbones. I literally don't see it. It literally makes me look like a damn banana because it literally just comes up yellow on me. Maybe it's because I'm a little lighter. Maybe if I was a little darker, it would probably show up a little better and look prettier. But in my opinion, it just looks like I have a yellow cheekbone. And then this purple shade, I was so disappointed with these two that I was just like, fuck it. Ain't for me. So now we're gonna move on to, I think we're almost done. We just have to do the lips. Yeah, the lips. Okay, so I have a couple of products here to show you guys. So I have these. I'm going to talk about the older ones a little more because I feel like these back in the day, everybody went crazy over them. And then I'm going to talk about two lip shades that are part of a different collection, but they're the same brand. They recently came out and people are like so crazy over them. In my opinion, I hate them. So these are the NYX Butter Lipsticks. Now, back in the day, they had, or they still have, the NYX Butter Glosses. Those are some of my favorites. Those are really good. But whenever they came out with these butter lipsticks, I went crazy because I was like, oh my god, you know, I love the glosses. Like, what would they be in a lipstick form? Like, let me try this out. Let me see how I like it. So I went ahead and I went crazy and I wanted to buy every shade possible before even trying them out like a dumbass. So I bought all of them and ended up hating all of them. So I'm firstly going to show you, I guess I will show you the lightest color first and then I will show you the dark one. But mainly the reason why I hate them is because, for one, they just look very chalky on the lips. And they're very, very uneven and patchy. Also, the lipstick scent just smells like a damn crayon. Like, so nasty. I hate that kind of smell. It just literally smells like little kid makeup. The first shade I showed you was Sugar Wafer. The second color I'm going to show you is Hubba Bubba. And I remember I died for this shade because I was like, oh my god, it's pink, you know, Barbie pink. This would look so pretty on me because, you know, I'm light skinned and it would just show up and look really pretty and soft and girly. Tried it, hated it. This is like literally the darker you go in these, the worse the patchiness gets. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, look how dark it is right there. And look how light and uneven it is on the edges. And this shade does not flatter me whatsoever. So these next ones, whenever these first came out, I had, you know, since I had a bad experience with buying all the lipsticks, you know, not trying them out, I was like, you know what, let me buy a few, let me see how I like them, and if I like more, then, you know, I will obviously buy more and do like a whole review and just collect them because I love collecting lipsticks, especially if I really do like the whole line. So this one I was really excited about. This is the L'Oreal, what is this called? L'Oreal Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick. And this was part of their chocolate collection. Now, if you guys know me, I'm a huge sweet tooth person. I love chocolate. I love anything sweet, anything that smells like cupcakes, cake. Like, I'm all about it, especially if it's in makeup because, you know, I love makeup and then I love sweets and you put it together and I'm just like, yes, give it to me. But whenever I tried this, I was just so disappointed, you guys. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, L'Oreal. Like, you had me so hyped for this. And it's literally, I'd rather spend so much more money on a good liquid lipstick than spend money on this, even though I really like chocolate and I wish that this would have worked out. So this is the shade Sweet Tooth. It smells amazing, let me just say that. It really does smell like chocolate, and it does smell like so sweet. It just smells like a chocolate cake. So the one thing I do not like about it is, for one, it's patchy whenever you put it on, and it's kind of hard to build up without it feeling like super cakey on your lips. I'm actually going to show you guys right now. The color is really beautiful, by the way. And that's another reason why I was really sad. So since it is so patchy and it doesn't really have that good of coverage whenever you put it on, whenever you add a little bit more lipstick, it never dries down, and whenever you talk it kind of looks like you have lip gloss on, and these are supposed to be like matte, and they aren't matte, like they never dry. So I moved a little bit up close, that way you guys can see this makeup up close and personal. So let's talk about the lashes. You see how they're still coming up? Like I put so much damn glue there that they're still coming up. You see how like they're too short? It just doesn't look good at all. On camera, I'm not gonna lie, like the powder and the foundation doesn't look that bad, but it does look very dry up here on my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just the combination of the foundation and the powder just looks horrible. It's too light for my whole body. The eyebrows just looks like I didn't even do anything to them. The eyeshadow is just creasing very badly. I don't know if you guys can see that there. It's almost like starting to crease. And also I forgot to mention, this actually starts to peel. Like if you've worn this eyeshadow on your eyelids for like 4 hours, it definitely would peel. The lipstick, can you see that? Yeah, not cute at all. Under eyes look horrible because it's just too shimmery underneath there. And then the bronzer and highlight, you can see the yellowness from the highlighter. And then you can also see the patchiness of the bronzer. It's too shimmery. It just looks very ugly. Okay, so that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell down below. That way you guys can be notified every single time I upload. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!